Welcome to this episode of Give Voice to Your Vision, where we stop the spinning wheel, get real, and it is clarity you feel. I am so excited to have a very special dear friend, colleague, client, guest here to share some really powerful information for you around shifting how you show up in your business, how you serve at the highest level. And we're talking today with Sarah Michael, who is known as the creator of the feminine sales power. What? Ooh, I can't wait to dive in, right? She works with women entrepreneurs to lead their business powerfully without being pushy, combining support. Well, she supports clients to sell their services by crafting conversations that actually articulate those hard to describe services in a way that people get it and want it. They want to sign up and work with you. She helps her clients skyrocket their confidence and income with high ticket programs that sell like hotcakes. Yay. Welcome, Sarah. I know we're having a little bit of internet stuff, so we're going to keep moving on. Hopefully our connection will click in. Are you with me? We're a little bit frozen. So today we're going to talk about why doing more is the very thing that keeps your income capped, and what really happens the moment a client decides to pay you more, and the shift that lets your business grow without requiring more and more and more from you. So welcome in, welcome in. Sarah, do we have you? We're having some technical difficulties. The interwebs are delayed. There we go. She's coming back in, friends.
I'm back, sort of.
Yay! Delay. No worries. Technology happens. Thank goodness we can do these live broadcasts. It's so fun, and it's powerful to be real. Like, people know this is real. It's happening right now. We're not AI robots looking perfect and spewing out generic content. We're real people in real time. That's why I love to continue to live stream. Thank you so much for being here, Sarah. I've set up a good a bit about what we're going to talk about. So while we have a solid connection, with your permission, I'm going to dive right in. Does that sound okay?
Sounds great. Can't wait.
Awesome. Well, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I know that you have so much to offer, but I'm going to stick with the first question that I think is so juicy for us to start with today. Why is doing more keeping our income or our growth stuck? Right? So many people I talk to, I'm a visibility mentor, as you know, of course, and we think we need more visibility and more leads. And I know you have a really unique approach. And so I would love to answer that question. Like, don't I need more, Sarah? What do I need? I need more visibility. I've got to do more. I've got to try harder.
Only answer? Absolutely. And I really do see it so prevalently in with coaches, entrepreneurs, really any entrepreneur, is this knee-jerk default to it. The solution must be more massive action. I know we've talked about that before, like just take massive action and everything will be fine. And what I find is that just doing more, honestly, I often call it a productivity addiction, is it keeps us focused on things versus the right things, or the right in for coaches, for businesses, defined as the things that are going to actually make the cash register sing. And so many marketing strategies out there are what I call big list marketing strategies, y'all, because they really require a big list to be consistently effective, and effective at a certain dollar amount, notwithstanding what I call the lightning bolt. Like, yeah, one
Mhm.
time a gal watched one video of mine and she became an $18,000 client. Did that happen the next month? No. Did it happen the prior month? No. You're right. And I mean, it can happen, but social media is an example. You might say big audience, but big
Mhm.
list marketing strategy. Yet, so much of what is being taught, and it's taught in a manner of do this, you will make sales. But they're big list marketing strategies that keep you really 8, 11 steps away from asking for the sale, actually
Yeah,
asking for the sale. And then, at least some of the time, hearing yes and collecting money and getting to actually serve and support this person. So
I love this.
more is like comes from a scarcity energy,
Yeah,
actually. Wait, just
and
do
it keeps
more.
you busy, but not getting results necessarily.
Exactly.
Right? It's like, do I put more pasta in the water pot? Do I put more, like, we need the outcome, right? I need to eat dinner and go home and go to bed. You know what I mean? And so many people think that I'm working with people that always feel they need more visibility or better messaging, and those are good things. But we want visibility that goes all the way to, like you're saying, that sale. So if we're staying so busy doing all the things, but we don't have a system for how all of the things lead to the ultimate goal, we're just busy. And that I've seen that lead to burnout, frustration, and ultimately lack of confidence. We start to think, oh, people don't want what I have. People know,
Mm.
somebody else is saying it better because they don't actually have a point in their action where they're asking for the sale, like you've said,
Or it's effective, maybe it's
or they're
there, but
not doing it as well as they could.
yeah, I
Right.
was just talking about that the other day in terms of, folks get discouraged is sometimes on, strategy sessions or sales calls, the person will be telling me, well, this result and giving me like testimonials, giving me credentials, and I'll give them
Mm,
a little space, a little runway to just get it off their chest. But
mhm.
often I will end up saying like, hey, listen, I trust, like if you are attracted to me, I trust that your work is wildly transformational. And, you don't have to, effectively prove that to me. But what I see going on is because they haven't had enough clients or consistently enough, they've decided that their work isn't effective. Right.
Yeah,
And and I'm like, no, you have a marketing and sales problem, not a results problem, not a transformation
right.
problem. Right.
I'll I'll ditto that, like 99.9%, it is like a breakdown somewhere between being seen, heard, and hired, right? Being seen, heard, and closing that sale. So what do you think is the biggest or the most common mistake that people are making in their marketing and how that leads to people signing up?
Well, yeah, I think the biggest mistake is relying on defaulting to and spending a ton of marketing time on the big list marketing strategies to
Yeah.
the exclusion of what will work now, soon, later, and in the long term, right? Um, and part of that comes from that productivity addiction. At my feminine sales power retreat, we talk a lot about the productivity addiction because it is designed the whole retreat is designed as a reset from that but part of what will pull us towards in addition to just more must be better is
Mhm.
around that we think we should be doing them.
Right.
We see other people doing it. Part of my work is the feminine survival instinct, which is to stay connected. Stay connected,
Mm.
stay connected. If I
Mhm.
end up disconnected,
Mhm.
I'm gonna end up alone. A wild animal's gonna walk up and I'm gonna die. That
Yeah.
is the moral pathway, really deeply ingrained for millennia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what that creates is what we call external motivation. We
Mhm.
outside of us for, am I saying this right? What should I say? Am I asking for too much money? Am I doing the right marketing strategies? I see so and so and so and so and all the big guru people doing this, so I should do it. Mind you, the big guru people have big lists, so it's different,
Yeah.
right? But
I'm gonna jump in on your big list too, because if you love digital marketing,
yeah.
like if that's why you're doing everything is because you wanna master and monetize digital marketing, then go build your list and do those things. But
Yeah.
the people that tend to fall into our world are called to share a message or a transformation or their business. Most people I know building a business have some sort of like inner drive to help people, right? And a lot of people like would rather wish they didn't really have to do the marketing or selling at all,
Yeah.
right? So what do we do instead, Sarah? And I
Well,
want to highlight that
to a quick, you're saying that, and it's not to the exclusion of building your list, y'all. It's
right.
we
Thank
make
you.
money while we build the list. Like the list
Yes.
is important. And so we make money, we fund the growth through the sales, right? And the revenue and the clients. And we grow our list, and so we can ultimately get there, right? And
Yeah.
but we don't spend too much of our marketing time on those big list marketing strategies. We can spend a little, like the way, 10, 20% of the marketing
Grow
time.
as you go, baby. Grow as you go.
No, yes, fund your growth. Yes. So what were you going to
Yes.
say? What should they do instead?
Yeah, what should they do instead? I also wanted to highlight that you are, you have the feminine sales power, right? So we are talking about, and you mentioned how women are conditioned by shoulds. Of course we are. Everybody's conditioned by something. It's not that we're better or worse off, but there's a unique pattern for us to validate our worthiness through action. And so you're getting underneath that in terms of business growth and revenue by looking at those shoulds and clearing them and moving them out of the way, right, at your retreat. So why do you think we get stuck there? What can't we see?
Well, I think one of the things we can't see is often the subtleness of the survival instinct, the subtleness of how it is manifesting in our body, and that means it subtly manifests. You can subtly feel it. It is there, but unless you train yourself to see it when you feel it and know what it is,
notice it, right?
It's so low grade for most of us, at least, so low grade, you're not aware it's going on. Because these are usually not big expressions of like curled up in a ball on the floor and I can't move. You know what I mean? Like, no, you can talk, right? But maybe you're doing it in somewhat of a meek way, kind of because you're worried about disconnecting. So you come in a little soft. There's also the other side of the coin where you come in, you've done your power pose, and you're like, you're sort of artificially hyped up. It's like too much caffeine, right? You're artificially hyped up, and
overcompensating for that insecurity or that,
and you bring what I call a proving energy, and and that's why actually the first morning of Feminine Sales Power, because when I designed it initially 6 years ago, and I thought about the promise, I was like, well, I have to help them understand and feel that subtle feeling when they're just a little bit tweaky, a little bit off balance, a little bit worried, and that's what we do it the first morning. Is so you get in touch with, okay, that's when I'm a little bit off balance, because you will be thrown off balance sometimes in your marketing. You will be thrown off balance sometimes in a sales call, even if it's just because they didn't understand how, it's like they didn't understand the question you asked. Oh no. And
I didn't do it right. I'm about to ask them for 20 grand. What do I do?
You just disconnected, or that's your worry, or can you take a deep breath and get on with it?
So I want to highlight that awareness. You're talking about having the awareness, and then there's knowing what to do with it. But when we don't, that you're talking about those subtle layers, because we're kind of like, we're working it, we're showing up, we're doing our stuff, right? But those subtle layers can end up driving the bus underneath. Right. And we have to become aware. And, my frequency factor approach is a perfect companion, because we have that. When we feel a little bit off, right, we're broadcasting that signal. And if we feel off, it can resonate. There could be a disconnect. There's that energetic awareness. And if we don't acknowledge it, it has more power than it has to, right?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
at your event, do we get to like clear that shit out of the way?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the first morning, y'all. We get that subtle feeling, that nuanced feeling that is barely there probably for you, most of the time at least. We also do a dumping of the shoulds, because the shoulds come from another part of our survival instinct. That really wants to be perfect in order to survive. And do this lengthy exercise and really dump those, starting this true reset
Mm,
of just we're leaving the productivity addiction behind. This reset, that's really day one. Also, I mean, so what do folks typically do? How that can also influence the survival instinct
mm,
is we will choose marketing strategies that seem safer, seem like
yeah,
there's a greater, less likelihood that we're going to disconnect from people. And guess what, y'all? Those are the big list marketing strategies.
right.
Because the small list or the now, soon, later, always marketing strategies of speaking in front of people live in person, hopefully, but virtually as well, and networking or just calling people and doing outreach. Those I can even feel like subtle like nerves coming up just talking about it with y'all. Like
Right.
those can make that part of ourselves nervous because it's a one-to-one and they may get me. Like there'll be no
Yeah.
question who was the, affronting party. They're gonna know it was me. Right? Um,
I
and
would
so
love to talk a little bit about that because people have
oh, sorry.
yeah, sorry, I got excited. The,
I know.
people have a lot of vulnerability and rawness around charging, and I know that one of the things that we wanna make sure we have time to talk about is, this high ticket offer, right? Like the higher level client, and, that I was gonna invite you to share kind of like, first of all, why that matters or how it helps us with sales, and also kind of like a little tip on how we can do that and what happens when we do.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, I
'Cause
think
peop
I'll
we
kind
get
of
scared around selling and offering. We want the page and the button that people click, and then they just show up and we get to
well,
do
that's
our
part of it.
magic,
Yeah, I'm hiding behind my
right?
sales page because
Mhm.
it's not a personal thing if they just don't click. Um, and in terms of higher ticket, the thing is, y'all, I mean, and you may have heard this before, so I'm just gonna quickly list like the pro column, okay? Because there's
Mhm.
really no
There are no cons.
column,
It is
honestly.
not a con.
But people who pay you high ticket will get more out of it. They will try harder. They will be, completely all in, um, and will receive a greater transformation
Yeah,
because of it. And
yeah.
you get to serve and support in a way that feels awesome. I mean, when people come to me, like, I don't want to do one-on-one work anymore with clients because, I just hate it. 9 times out of 10, when I dig into that, it's because they're undercharging. So
Yeah.
they started to feel resentful. Like, I'm like, "Well, would you feel good if you were getting paid
Yeah,
500
if you doubled your price, how would that
hour?"
feel?
Guess what? They're like,
Right?
"Yeah,
Oh,
actually." Yeah, that and a boundary issue because they're letting people kind of like
right.
get on their calendar every hour of every day and they're on call. That doesn't work either. Um,
Mhm.
so the thing about the higher and higher you charge, I find at a certain level when you're really moving into 20, even 30, even 40 and 75, $100,000 for an
Mhm.
offer is this, oh my God, can I really charge a ridiculous amount of money?
Right.
Or
The
is it going to
beliefs
take
about who
more
am I
of
to
my time?
charge and
There's some more of it, right? Or am
yeah,
I going to have to put more and more and more in this program to
yeah,
justify the investment?
yeah.
And we have to release the guilt, shame, shoulds, and we have to
And the
set you up
unworthiness and the who am
well
I to
and set you up
say?
with a sales system that will support it. It starts with
Yeah.
words to describe the hard to describe services, so people get it,
Yes.
wanna buy it. S Next is the sale or the right marketing strategies that are gonna get you leads now, soon, later, forever. And then the sales process, the sales conversation that is powerful, and it's not 15 minutes, it's an hour, and you go deep, and the person feels seen and heard and understood on a level that they never have been before. So when you say it's $25,000, it's a much easier yes for them.
Yeah.
And
And as you say that, I'm also, realizing in the space of like uplifting others and growing a thriving business, for in my world, the thriving business is the vehicle for your message. It means that
mhm,
you're in that alignment with your calling and you're firing on all cylinders. And we know that it's working when it works. So the higher level offer, I call it the highest transformation offer, you know that, is easier to line up with a bigger promise because you've articulated the real work you want to do. And when
mhm.
people are signing in at that level, I think that it's easier to get buy-in. Now let's talk about when you close that first 5K, 20K, 50K offer,
Mhm.
and like there's no better way to have a confidence explosion, a permanent confidence reset in many, many ways. Like we know the confidence and the courage and the clarity sometimes come through a little, having the system and going for it, knowing what to do differently besides this big list marketing. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, often I say it most often with folks that are on the newer side, but it
Mm-hmm.
applies to somebody who's raising their rates as well. And that
Mm-hmm.
is all your brain needs right now is evidence that someone will buy it at that investment level
Yes.
and get value from it. That
Yes.
evidence, and actually sometimes, oh, you just charge 10,000. And I'm like, well, maybe it's just five. because I'd rather because more than 10,000, you need the evidence. So we
Right.
don't
The
wanna place you
calibration,
out of your
right?
I don't wanna
Yeah,
say comfort zone, but we want with pricing, we wanna stretch you, but we don't wanna stretch you so far we blow your circuits.
that's right. It's so good. It's so good. And so tell me a little bit about what happens when your clients start to employ this feminine mode marketing, and how does it start to shift things for them?
Yeah, so, of course, it's different for everyone and how it shows up, and, when they get focused on the right marketing strategies, immediately the time they're spending in their business each week goes down. Some it may go down a little because they're not too strung out on too many marketing strategies, so it goes down 3 to 5 hours a week. Others, it can drop 10, even 20 hours a week if they've got a stacked up marketing strategies that they're just not spending as much attention on and as much time on. Again, we don't do none of them. We don't toss the baby out with the bathwater, but maybe they're spending 15 minutes on that now. So that starts to happen immediately, really, for everyone. And usually my clients, when they start with me, they will get 2 to 3 clients within about 4 to 6 weeks from people they didn't know, or no, that they do already know, people they're already talking to, actually, or in some
Mhm,
relationship,
mhm.
once they started talking about their work differently. And
Yeah.
they'll get them from people that they already know at a higher level than what they've been selling before. And then they go on to, middle of the road, as I call it, case study. Most of my clients get to $5,000, $6,000 months. They're starting from nothing, so to speak, or
Mhm.
close to nothing, within 6 months. And those who are already making 5 to 8, they get to $12,000, $15,000 a month within 4 or 6 months as well. They can have a little bit of a quick ramp up time quicker because they don't need to learn everything.
Right.
They
Right.
need
Right.
nuances, they need tweaks, they need focus, they need to learn some things to do some things better, but they're not starting from zero.
So what you just said is so important. I'm going to restate it in another way. Like when like we've been told what to do. We see all the things that we can do, all the ways we can use AI, all the videos we need to make, all the social media we need to post, all the emails we need to write, all the webinars and podcasts and masterclasses and speaking and all the things that we need to do or we could do, right? We often try and do it all at once because we're like, I'm going to go big and I'm going to make this happen. But what you're talking about is really doing less better, one of my favorite topics. But if you don't know what else to do instead of all this stuff you've been told, and if you don't have the skill and the clarity just to do this next thing and this next thing in a way that works for you, it feels like you're doing everything, right? You think you are doing everything. So what you're talking about is your approach is really, it's a customized system to some extent,
Very
if
much
I'm
so.
understanding correctly,
It's very
right?
much
But
customized.
it's going, as streamlining from A to Z instead of streamlining over and over or just piling more ABCs in,
Yes,
right?
yes,
That's
absolutely.
powerful.
Yeah, a
Um,
streamlining, a focusing, and just a prioritization of like what I call exactly and only what's going to make the cash register ring and sing. And with you,
awesome.
as they say. Yeah.
So will you just give me a little bit of give us here those for you, for those of you watching, definitely comment, let us know you're here. We have a gift to share, a powerful quiz that we're going to share with you. And before we do that, I'd love to hear a little bit of the juicy details about your retreat that's coming up. I know it's got limited spaces and it's a real push up your sleeve experience. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to get when we come?
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about basically the first morning,
Mhm.
and the rest of the first day. We do some of that hard to describe services articulation. So what I call
Nice.
vivid picture benefits, because the afternoon is really about giving you access points to
Yeah.
this feminine mode. And one of them, if people get your work and want to buy it, guess what, y'all? It's going to be easier. So we do what I call vivid picture benefits because you're popping a vivid picture into people's heads that
Nice.
they get and want to buy, or they know someone who might.
Mhm.
Then we're going to work on the sales conversation, specifically the quality, depth, and breadth of your sales questions. What are you asking? I find a lot of people are like, they're skipping stones. You know how a skipping stone on a rock
Yeah,
kind of
surface.
hits the surface, right? So they're
Mhm.
bouncing from question to question and question, and they're all these different topics without taking two or three of those and drilling down. And I call them buckets, drilling down into a bucket and really sniffing around all the what I call sniffing the edges of that area. So we're going to work on
Mhm.
designing customized questions for you to use, the minute you're done, or heck, you know, during, if you have a sales call or a strategy session.
Right,
And
during the event.
for
Yeah.
is reset. So there is, I really want, we're going to reset. We're going to do a release activity day one, day two. It's really all about marketing strategies and which to choose and what's going to make sense for you. And then the third day is all about what to focus on, really developing a 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5, areas, things you're going to work on, you're going to focus on, to create exponential growth in your business. And it's wildly transformational. There's going to be a lot of space. There's going to be a whole go to the spa lunch break. That's longer. We're going to go to the beach. We're going to do some fun expression and visibility, really, getting people
Nice.
use, letting people see your whole personality exercise. It's
Yeah.
very experiential. It's very interactive. And it's small. It's going to be less than 30 folks. And we're going to
Yeah.
dig in and reset. And you're going to be buffed up like a shiny penny when you leave and have this new capacity to get results more from your feminine mode than masculine mode. Masculine mode will be there, but they will be in concert, integrated together.
Yeah.
So you can get bigger and bigger results without it taking more of you.
It's so great. And you know what, you guys, we can talk strategies and you can come to the live stream. We've got a couple people watching on YouTube right now. Hi, welcome. Please leave us a comment. Let us know you were here. I'm going to share a link to the quiz. And I want to
Yes.
let people know, this taking, there's so much thing, if you're doing all the things, if any of this is resonating, one of the most powerful things you can do is press pause and take yourself away from all of the things and refill your well, refuel at every level of your business. I'll tell you transparently, at every level of my business, my message is expanding, my offers may expand, and we get into habits and filling the well with new inspiration, new clarity, new alignment is honestly critical. It's probably on par. My first investment for me in my business is high level support to help me see what I can't see, and so that I have somebody to do for me what I'm doing for others. And the second is working on my business rather than in my business. And for me, especially, we're creatives, we're entrepreneurs, we're creating things from nothing, right? We're selling ideas and services. So being among other rare unicorns that are growing themselves in this way and their businesses in this way is food. It is basic, essential nourishment for a creative entrepreneur. And I'll say a feminine entrepreneur, right? You talked about the need for connection. So this is an
Mhm.
extraordinary opportunity for you to fill your well. So if you want to go to Sarah's retreat, comment in the comments. We'll make sure and come back and see, and we'll find you. I'm gonna give you this quiz, and then you'll have an opportunity. I think, Sarah, you were saying we can put our phone number in, and that
Yep.
so we can get a quick
And I'll
text
just
with
text
with
you. Yeah.
information about the
No
retreat.
text blast.
Excellent.
But I'll just
Excellent.
text you and see if you want to chat a little more about the event. Let me tell you a quick thing, or the retreat. A quick thing about the money. The quiz. The quiz is the money making style quiz, where you are going to see one of the biggest. You see some different things, but one of the biggest levers is your marketing strategies and whether you're using big list marketing strategies or not. So if you have a hunch, if you have no clue which marketing strategies are best for your list size and your stage in business, definitely sign up for the money making style quiz. And it's like 3 minutes. It is not a hard lift of a quiz, y'all. You will be in and out real quick. You get your results. And you'll know if you're on track or if you're not. And even if you feel like you're on track, but you're working too hard, still let's chat.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys, if you want to go to the retreat with Sarah, you can find me on any of my social platforms. I'll get you connected. You can comment retreat in any of the comments. We're streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is working. We have got a new platform. I'm going to go check that. And so reach out. You can find Sarah on Facebook as well. Make sure that you take action. Comment right here below, retreat, and we will find you and just get you the information. Again, it's intimate and it's a high level experience with an intimate group of dedicated women. So I encourage you to join us there. Yeah. And the quiz is amazing. I've done it myself.
And good. Is that in the chat or
the quiz is in the comments here? And then after the live stream, I go and make sure that comment showed up everywhere. So if you're here live, comment retreat right now. We'll just send you some information and we'll talk if it's a fit. I'm sure Sarah will talk to you if you're not sure. But it's coming up. When is it? It's coming up in April.
No, it's coming up in May 7th through 9th.
So plenty of time.
In Carlsbad, California.
Plenty of time. Now is the time, though, to make your plans, get your reservation. Sarah and I were on retreat together in February, was it? And I hadn't been taking myself up and out of my business for a while, really for a long time, since COVID for the most part. I had intimate small masterminds, but to be in a room with other people really doing the deep work, it's so restorative and, empowering. And like I said, it's food. So thank you so much for being here and bringing your wisdom. I love having you in my world. I can't wait to see what you're creating. You're a dear friend, and I so love what you're bringing through. So I appreciate you, Miss Sarah.
Appreciate you. Thank you. This has been fun.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys. Next week on I was playing with my new tools. Let me see if I can find one. Bear with me, Sarah. We're using Restream instead of StreamYard. Here, look, I have this lower third. I forgot to welcome you. Welcome to Give Voice to Your Vision. You can ask questions in the chat, but we're saying goodnight, right? We're saying goodbye right now. But next week, I'm playing transparently using my new tools. All right. Next week, I'm going to talk with Christina Hills about website essentials. So I encourage you. She makes a really clear, empowering argument for really having control and knowing how to handle your website. Sarah, I know you're a tech master like that too. We don't have to be masterful, but having a simple system that works. And so Christina's going to come and share her magic on that and help you make that very doable and get that website hiding behind the scenes and working on your website out of the way so you're in front of your business. We're going to talk with her. Sarah, I adore you. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you in person. And thanks you guys for being here. We'll see you next week. Now I have to remember how to stop it.